What's there? I guess maybe I don't like it. Maybe that's what it is.
It's hard for them to show.
Pizza, yeah. Yeah, some food. Chef. What? Yeah. Please take. I'm just. Who sponsored that? The shul? Sure. Not sure. Please take. Don't. I'm just sitting here.
So good.
I guess after like a week or two, there might be less guys, and I'll get a seat.
This seat's available. Right here. Too close.
Not too close to the road. Like,
Maybe we should do a different setup. Is there not a good setup either? Because people are over here. I think it's not. Maybe if I sit there, it's better. Maybe it's better if I sit there.
no, the problem is they won't be able to hear. Maybe like,
Let's say I stand. Is it better if I stand?
whatever.
Maybe it's better if I stand. Because let's say people are sitting here, people are sitting here. Well,
I liked it the way it was, but
What about 4 tables this way?
what?
What about this way? 4 tables.
4 tables?
Instead of that way, this way.
Well, these ones, because then people wouldn't be out. Like go like over there. Please take some food. Make a food for supper. Somebody just ate supper. They don't need more. You know? You got on the chat on the Kenyan chat.
I don't think so.
So David, you got C on the Kenyan chat? I don't know if he wants to.
It wasn't working. I don't know why. I tried. I finished mine. It wasn't working. Tried a few times. It failed.
Hey, so Steve said there's been some duns. There's been a lot of duns. Aaron, you joining it, by the way? You with it? Yeah. Maybe better if I stood, because then people could hear. You hear me?
Are you getting hoarse from this?
I'm okay, I think I'm okay.
You're overworking. It's harder.
I told, who was here and I said what happened when I was in yeshiva? Did I told you this? When I was a Rebbe 1 year in yeshiva, they had an in-house, like every new kids come to the yeshiva. They had a packed place, like they're coming in 9th grade. People wanted to try out the yeshiva. They put all the kids in the base medrash, and every Rebbe, different Rebbeim gave shiurim to different kids, and they put on headphones. And you went on like channel 8, and it was a packed base medrash. If you would walk in, you wouldn't hear a word, besides for the Rebbe talking. And he was giving shiur to like 20 guys, and that gave shiur to 20 guys, and they switched. Yeah, and you switch channels. Yeah.
Nice, bro.
This is Heichal Atar in Teaneck, New Jersey.
Oh, Tina.
Yeah.
Sounds like
I think we should have headphones or channel.
Got it. A lot of times you scream and you think because nobody hears. Really,
Everyone hears.
everybody hears. Like you're strong the strain because you're on override noise. Everybody hears.
Tell me when you think I should go. Then we start the Chazara. Chazara we could start. What? Oh. Okay, I'm just starting the Chazara. Pasuk V'tani. So we start off the Gemara that we're going on the Reish of the Mishnah. Lula Gazav Yavish is Pasal. Says the Gemara, Kapasik V'tani, the Mishnah gave a psak and taught. V'tani means and taught that no matter what, Gazel and Yavish is possible throughout the whole Yom Tov. V'leishna b'Yom Tov Rishon, v'leishna b'Yom Tov Sheni. Yom Tov Sheni means Sheni, Shishi, Revi, Chamishi, Shishi. Every day of Yom Tov, it's going to be Aser. And the Gemara goes into that. Bishma Yavish, I understand why Yavish, the Chazal would say it's Aser, even the rest of Yom Tov. Because Hadar B'Nei V'Leka is a concept of having a beautiful lulav, and you don't have it. Elagazo, rather, when it comes to a stolen lulav, Bishma Yom Tov Rishon, understand the first day of Yom Tov, the Chesiv, it says in the Pasuk Lachem, ulekachtem lachem, you should take for yourself, and we darshan mishalachem, it should be yours. So that I hear why the first day it's aser. Ela b'yom tov sheni, rather when it comes to the second day of Yom Tov and on, amai loy, why would you not be allowed to use a stolen lulav? Who cares? Why would you that concept? The first day, the Torah exeris hakas, an interesting thing that should be yours. But when Chazal made a mitzvah, D'Rabbanan, the rest of Yom Tov as a zeichel and migdash, why would they care that it's yours or not? Amar b'yechanam shumashim ben yechai, b'yechan said shumashim ben yechai. A new concept. You know why stolen lulav is a problem? Mishum dahavule mitzvah ba ba'avera. It's a mitzvah that came about through an avera, and that pasels a lulav. Where do you know such a concept from? We know it from karbanis. Remember, it says in the pasuk, Hashem's upset about which karbanis they're bringing. They're bringing stolen animals, crippled animals, sick animals. So Reb Shimon Yochai made a drasha. You learn out that the stolen one is similar to the crippled one. Just like a crippled animal, let's say takanta, that's a mum, that's a blemish, that's forever. Avgazel, let's say takanta, so do a stolen animal has no takana. So you see, stolen animals never could you bring as a carbon. The Gemara Shimon Yochai discusses that. Doesn't make a difference whether it's before Yish, where the owner gave up hope, whether it was after the owner gave up hope. But Bishmal Lefnei Yish, understand before the owner gave up hope, because it says in the pasuk, Adam ki Yaakov mikem Amar Rachman. Hashem said, you have to bring a carbon from your own. V'lavdidei, when it's not yours. But Elachar Yish, after Yish, when the owner says, "Oi, I lost my animal, I'm never going to get it back," Hakanya Yish, the robber stole it with Yish, acquired it with Yish. So why should he be allowed to bring the carbon? Why is it like a bisech? He can never bring it. Elalav, is it rather is it not? You should have a mitzvah haba avera. It's because the mitzvah haba avera, and that's why the carbon is aser. And we learn from karbanis to mitzvahs that mitzvahs are pasul, karbanis are pasul. It's a mitzvah haba avera. Okay, this is what we're up to right now. Says the Gemara, and it's the same person. It's a B'yechan in the name of Shimon ben Yochai. So it's really a Tana. Shimon ben Yochai is a Tana. And this next Gemara is really another Mikar to Mitzvah Abba Avera. Says the Gemara, what does it mean, that which is written in the Pasuk? And if you go to the left on your Gemara, the Gimel, we'll see the Pasuk inside. It's number Gimel and Ter or Hashalim. And it says, Ki ani Hashem oiv mishpat. I am Hashem who loves judgment. Soine gazel ba'ayla. I hate aylas that are gzela. I hate that. I cannot stand somebody who takes an ayla, brings it. An ayla is a type of carbon that's completely to Hashem. The limbs, the fats, besides for the skin. The skin goes to Kahanim, but everything else goes to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You don't eat it, the Kahanim don't eat it. Hashem says, I hate that type of carbon when it's stolen. Okay, we jump back to the Gemara. What? Can still bring it, he hates it. Doesn't like it. So says the Gemara, what does it mean, that which is written? Ki ani Hashem oiv mishpat. I am Hashem who loves justice. Soine gezel ba'ayla, who hates gzela when it comes to an ayla. What's it trying to tell me by this? What do you mean, what's it trying to tell me? It's pretty obvious. It's coming to tell me that Hashem hates stolen aylas. What's so crazy about this? But the question he's saying is, why only an ayla? Any carbon that's stolen, a chatas, an asham, why would the pasuk specify an ayla? Hashem shade every single carbon. So it says of Shimon ben Yochai, I'll tell you why. I'll explain the mashal. Everybody loves the mashal, right? Here comes the mashal. Mashal, it's a parable to this. To melech basar v'dam, to a human king, flesh and blood. Shehaya over al beis hameches. He was crossing by a toll booth. So let's say Donald Trump, or let's say the governor of New York. Who's the governor now? Who's the governor of New York? Kathy Hochul? It's a lady?
Yeah.
So Kathy Hochul, imagine if she was going through the Verrazano. Okay? She's going to the Verrazano Bridge. You have a king going through a toll booth. Beis HaMeches means a toll booth. Amar Lavod, he says to his servants, Tenu mikem l'meichsim. Tenu mechas, tu mechas l'meichsim. Give the toll to the toll collectors. Pay the toll. Okay, that's absolutely crazy. The king is saying to his servants, I want to pay the toll. Give some of my money to the toll collector. Amru Loi, they said back to him, his servants said back to the king, what? The halekol hamechas kuloi shalcho. The entire toll, all of it is yours. Everyone's paying a toll to cross, and the money goes to your revenues. Why would the king say to his servants that they should pay the toll? No, he answered them a great answer. Amar Lem, he said to them, Mimeni yilmudu, from me they will learn. Kol oivri drachim, anybody who crosses these roads, who goes through roads, v'lo yavrichu atzma min hameches, and they won't chase themselves away, they won't run away from paying the toll. Right, it's a big lesson. If the king himself is paying the toll, everyone's going to learn from there that you don't run away from the tolls. It was a big move. I'll just give you a random mashal. I remember by Color. I was a general in Color one year, and it's not the exact same thing. It just reminds me of it. And you need to wake up kids for shachris, and however many kids you have on time, you get points. And you need counselors, staff members to wake kids up. It's a very bad job. No one wants to do it. So they had a meeting, the staff meeting, and they said, who wants to wake up kids? Everyone wants to be in the play, everyone wants to be in the banner and the songs. Nobody wants that job. So he said, who wants to do it? So I was a general. I was like, I'll do it. And everyone, I'll do it. Basically like 1,000 guys. I didn't do it in the end. But sometimes you have to step up and do something even though it doesn't make sense. People are like, okay, if he's doing it, I'll do it. So the king's paying the tax, so I'll also pay the tax. Here comes the nimshal. I had a very hard time with this nimshal. I'll explain as best as possible. If anybody feels they don't understand it better than me, please let me know. Afa Kodesh Baruch Hu, so too Hashem. Omar, he says, Ani Hashem soine gezel ba'ila. I am Hashem who hates stolen when it comes to an oila. I hate that. What does that mean? Mimeni yilmudu bana. I want my children to learn from me. V'yavrichu atzom min hagazel. That they should run away from stolen things. What does that mean? When you go ahead and you steal an animal from somebody, and the guy gives up hope, fine, so it's your animal, but it's not Avera. And what do? You go ahead and say, bring it as a oila to Hashem. Hashem says, really the animals are all mine. Everything in the world is Hashem's. Everything. This table is Hashem's, the Gemaras are Hashem, the bun, everything you're eating is Hashem. Okay? You're going ahead and stealing animals, they're all Hashem's in the first place. And not only that, you're being makriv as a oila, which is completely to Hashem. Hashem says, this is the type of thing I don't want. Even though it's really mine, it's all mine, everything's mine. And you're being makriv, it's all mine. I don't want your oilas. For sure, a chatas and a asham, where you're stealing from the guy, or shlamim, sometimes the owner eats it, kahanim eat it. I don't know, you're ruining it for other people. Here, you're not ruining it for anybody. Hashem's eating it, whatever that means. He's not really eating it, but it's going to him. And it's his animal in the first place. So I'm not interested in your oilas. This is the biggest lesson in Mitzvah Bava Avera. Really, Hashem should say, I'll take it, why not? It's mine anyways in the first place. And you're being makriv as the oilah, it's completely to me. Says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I don't want your oilas. Never. The biggest lesson that a mitzvah haba ba'avera, a mitzvah that comes out to an avera, Hashem is not interested. The carbon's no good. The mitzvahs are no good. And that is the lesson of HaKadosh Baruch Hu saying, I don't even want my own stuff. I'm going to show you I don't even want my own stuff. That's what he says. That makes sense to you? So he's trying to show you he's not interested in such a thing. Right. Okay, fine.
Why does Hashem want oil?
Hashem doesn't want the oilah because the oilah is the biggest mashal of something that really is Hashem's anyways. Because number one, all animals belong to Hashem in the first place before you even steal it. Second of all, you stole it, you brought it as oilah. Even the carbon itself is all to Hashem.
Something that was stolen.
Yeah.
It's
an opportunity. Right. Okay. See, Shoal's asking, there's a lot of times, this comes up a lot in life, where you want to do a mitzvah, But there could be an avera that's part of it. Let's say your wife needs you or something. No, I need to go to shul. I need to night seder. I need to go run to do that mitzvah. Could be a mitzvah above avera. I think the idea of it applies everywhere. To passel it, I'm not sure. It means I don't know how it works with everything else. What type of avera? Like stealing is the real avera. To say like a wrong cheshbon that you made, maybe wasn't nice to say. I don't know if it'll passel up here. It might be improper. It might be the wrong cheshbon. But it's very tricky. But to say like, let's say you messed up and you should have stayed home and you went to learn, I don't know if all you're learning is unless you mamash in avera and you know you do was wrong. And yeah, you probably shouldn't have. By the way, one of the hardest things in life is making these cheshbonos, and they're all over the place. Wanting to do good things on the balancing. Really, life's a balance. So try your best. You never. Yeah. You have to be careful. Okay. So we have two Mekayros for Mitzvah Bab Avera. Says the Gemara Vayter. Itmar Nami was also stated. Itmar Nami usually means in the Beis Medrash. It means someone also said in the Beis Medrash this statement. It was said also. Amar Rabbi Ami says Rabbi Ami. By the way, whenever you have Rabbi Ami, you know why he's going to say like Rabbi Yechanan. Rabbi Ami was a major Talmud of Rabbi Yechanan. Rabbi Yechanan was in Eretz Yisrael, he's Namayra, and Rabbi Ami was a Namayra in Eretz Yisrael. And Rabbi Yechanan passed away. Guess who took over the Beis Medrash in Tveria? It was Rabbi Ami. Okay, with Rabbi Asi. Rabbi Ami was the main one. Rabbi Ami led the Beis Medrash. There's a story once that Rabbi Yechanan was walking up a staircase, and Rabbi Ami and Rabbi Asi were both holding on to him. He was older. Rabbi Yechanan was very strong also, but they were holding him, and the stairs gave way. Whatever that means, they mamish collapsed. And had Rabbi Ami and Rabbi Asi fallen, I don't know if they would have died or gotten really hurt, and Rabbi Yechanan, they were supporting him. He was older. He grabbed them and brought them up a stair. And he saved their lives. Either their lives or something could have happened to them. So, Rabbi Ami. Al Kapanim says Rabbi Ami. Right. Shuldav is asking, why would you throw in your Rabbi Ami? You just have Shem Ben Yechai. So I think at the end of the day, it's not a Tana. It's a B'yeicha in the name of Shem Ben Yechai. It's an Amayra. So once an Amayra, it was said also by another Amayra, Rabbi Ami. I guess even though he's a Talmud, it was said also by him. I don't think it gets like Shem Ben Yechai. I don't think Rabbi Ami would say Shem Ben Yechai. I guess it's a B'yeicha b'Shem Shem Ben Yechai. So Amar Rabbi Ami. Rabbi Ami says it very straight up. Right, no, here it doesn't say, yeah. No, it doesn't mention. I hear you. Yavish pasal. A dry lulav is pasal. Why? If they shena hadar. It's not beautiful. It's not kosher the entire sukkahs because it's not beautiful. Gazel pasal. You know why stolen lulav is pasal? Mishum dahavale mitzvah above avera. Because it's a mitzvah that came about through an avera. Therefore, it's pasal. Even Yom Tov Sheni, Yom Tov Shlishi. The entire sukkahs. So you see it very clear that the reason why Gazel is pasal is because mitzvah above avera. Okay, we've been throwing at you this whole thing on mitzvah above avera. Going to stop over here, but believe it or not, we're going to see an Amayr that argues. There's an Amayr that argues on mitzvah above avera and does not hold to the concept. Stop by you, please us. Who asked me? You were going to emphasize our pasta.